Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we are gonna start building this website. This is related to the bikers. This is an awesome website. It is usually related to the boys and the young boys and the girls who are interested in the racing. So here you can see that this is the front page, this is the home page, and this is a long page. Here you can see that this is the header, slider, and beside these things its content area is too long. This is a new strategy in it is using by many programmers. Many programmers are built the website like this. It is awesome. They have put the post here. These are the posts. You can click on it, read more, and you can read the article about this bike. And here is the services, and here is the about us, little about us, and care and sport, and the latest news. So here is the map and the footer. So now here I'm gonna teach you how to create this effect. So now let's start. We are gonna build the structure of this site, and beside this, here I have already downloaded the images. Here are the images of this site, and here is the font that we are gonna use. And now here I'm gonna create the folder. Here is, and here is the for website, and now here I'm gonna cut this folder, and here in the for website paste the images, and then here is new folder of the CSS. It contains the CSS files, and the font here is cut this, and here it is Racing Sans 1 regular. So now it is okay, and now we have to create the pages. And now here I'm gonna save it as index.html. Here is done. Here it is. Here is index.html, and now we have to create two new files, grid.css and the style.css. And here is the style.css in the CSS folder, style.css, and here is a grid.css. Here is a grid.css, and now here I'm going to create the structure. You have already know how to create the structure, but here I want to tell you about the structure of this page. First of all, create the header, then a separate section for the slider, then a section for the content area, and then we have to create the individual sections for this thing, then a section for this thing, and post are in a separate section in the content area. So all the things are in the home page are in a separate sections, and all of these sections in a same section. And now let's create the structure. Here it is. Here is the doc type, and now it is too time consuming, so I'm gonna copy the same code that is in the previous sites, and here I'm gonna open this. Here is contact.html from the previous website, that is the just like childish website, and here I'm gonna copy till the main, and here it is, cut it, and here is paste it. And now here remove this thing because we have the fonts, and here all the things are inserted. Here is, and now here we have to insert the closing tags of the main, and then here is HTML, and now all things are okay. And now here I'm gonna create the structure. First of all, we have to place the header, and here is its closing tag header, and then after it we have to create the slider in a separate section. Here is the section, and then after it we have to create a content area. So the content area is in a separate section. Here is its closing tag, and then the footer, and here is the footer. And now here I'm gonna give the styles to this body, and then we will start building this header from the very next lecture. Here I'm gonna reload the file in the browser, load the file in the browser. Here it is. And now let's give the style to the body, and then rest of the styles is apply from the next video. And here is the body, and here it is. Apply the width 100% because the website is spread on 100% screen. Here you can see that this slider is 100% width, header is 100% width, so all the things are 100%, so that's why I give it the 100% width. And then the padding is 0, and here is the margin is 0, and here is the background is white, and then here is the color. Here is hash 3f 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 color of the text, and here is the font is 14 pixel line height. Here is 25 pixel. And now I'm gonna apply the font. I'm gonna include the font that is the Racing Sans 1, and there is no style is apply on the site because we have not put the content, so these are the limited styles. And now here I'm gonna include that font. Here is right font face. Here is I'm gonna show you the font file. Here is Racing Sans 1. It is the true type font TTF extension, and here is font family name. I'm gonna give it Racing 1. You can give it any name, so that's why I have give it Racing 1. And here is the source is URL, and here is name and then extension TTF. So now it is included, and the next thing that I want to give here is the box sizing. Here is right static. I'm gonna apply the box sizing on all the elements in the website. Here is the box, and here is sizing, and here is border box. So now you have already know what is the box sizing. So when we give the border box value to the box sizing, so the width and the height of all the HTML elements in the website contain the width and height of the content. And when we give the padding or the border to any HTML element now in this site, so the width and height is not going to be increased. You have already know when we give the padding, so the width and height is increased. But now we apply the border box property, so width and height of all the elements have the value of padding, border, and the content. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. So from the next video I'm gonna build this header, and then we will build this slider and all the things. See you in the next lecture. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built the structure of the site, and now in this lecture we are gonna start building this header. It contains the logo image and then this menu. So go to the Notepad++, and here I'm gonna create a div, and then I will give it the class container, and after it I will create another div that is the row. And you have already know why we are creating the row class because the content is not going to be mixed up or not float onto each other. And here is container, div, and here is the div class row, and then here it is. And here we have give the container class to this div, because here I want to show you something, that this header has the same width as the width of the content area, and it has some same styles that is also present in the content area. So that's why we have to give the container class to the header. And now let's create the next thing. And in this row, first of all, we will put this logo and then this menu. So this menu is in another div, in a separate div, and here it is. First of all, here is the anchor tag, and then here I'm gonna tell you about hyperreference. Here is index.html, and then here is the class logo. Here is the logo, and then here is the image src, and here is images, and here is the logo.png. So now the logo is inserted, and after this what we need to do, we have to create another div that contain the unordered list of the menu, and here is that div, here is the class, here is menu, and here it is. And in between this, here is the UL, and here is the UL. And now here I'm gonna give a list item, and here is the list item, and then here is the anchor tag, and here it is. Here is home, and here is hyperreference. Here I'm gonna give index.html, and now here is it is home, and there is motorbike, and here is motorbike.html. The page is not created, but I'm gonna set this menu, so we don't need to set the menu later when we create other pages. Here is about.html, and here is the contact.html. And now let's give it the styles. First of all, I'm gonna create this container, give it the width and the height, and then I will create this, give the styles to the row class. Here is the container, and save it. Here it is. Here is the width of the container is 1200 pixel, and here is space, and here is the position is relative, and then here is the margin 0 pixel auto to align it in the center. Here is this, and here is the padding is 0 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give some other styles, so the content is not going to be float onto each other, and it is not going to be mixed with each other. So here is container, and here is after. After the container, we cannot allow any element to be float onto each other, and we will insert this space after the container. Here it is, and here I'm going to tell you where this style is applied. Here is the container. Here you can see that the container start from this, so it will insert the space after this closing tag of the container. And now here I'm going to give it a display block, and the width and height is 0. Here is the display block, and here is the height is 0, and here is the clear both. And then here is the visibility hidden. And now the style is inserted, and let's give the style to this row class, and here it is. Here is first of all write container and then dot row, and here is it will insert the content before and after the row, and here is dot row, here is after. And now here I'm gonna copy the above things, copy from there, and here it is, and paste it here. And now here is the height. Here I'm also gonna give it width is also 0, and then here is I'm gonna remove this clear both. We will put this clear both separately for the row. Here is overflow hidden, and then here is the display block and all the things. And now here we have also need to give width is equal to 0, and then here is I'm going to copy this, paste it here. After the row we cannot allow any element to float on each other. Here is that's why we have provided this clear both. So after this row, here you can see that after this row div there is no element that can be float onto each other. And now let's execute it. So here it is. Now I will give it the style, then it will be okay. Let's give the style to the header and this image. Here it is, and here is space, and here is header, here is the background, here is hash FFF, and now it is okay. And now we have to give the style to the image that is inside the header. Here is header, and here I'm going to write the class name logo, and here is image. And now first of all I'm going to give it display inline block, and here is inline block, and then here is the margin 0 pixel auto, so then it will be in the center 0 pixel auto. And then here is the padding around the image is 10 pixel, and here is the width to 10 pixel. And now let's see it. It is adjusted, it is a line, or in other words you can also say that we have given it margin 0 pixel auto, so then the image is in the center, or you can say that it is a line in the center or in the horizontal direction in the x-axis. So this is the center. So now the header have not the content. When we give it the content, then its width is increased, then it will be adjusted to here in the center. Now the header have only this width, this list, and this logo. Now I'm gonna give the style to this menu. So now let's start. First of all, here is the div that name is menu, and now let's start by giving it the styles. here is dot menu. First of all, display inline block. Here is the inline block, and here is the float to the right side. Here is the right. And now let's execute it, and here it is. So now it is at this side. Now I'm gonna remove these margins and the list style type. And here I want to tell you another thing, that we have to give the float left to the list items. Then these list items are just like this: home, motorbike, about, and the content. And here it is. Here I'm going to remove the margin of the ordered and remove the margin of order and the unordered list, because we will create the order list in the about page. So that's why I have write it. Here is 0, and here is the padding, and here is the list style none, and here it is. So now I'm gonna give the float left to the list items. Then it is in the horizontal lines floated next to each other. Here is menu dot menu, and here is the list item, and here is the float left, and here it is. Now you can see that every list items is float to the left side, and if we give it the flow to the right, so then this home is start from this position. And here we have to change the text in the menu. Here we have to write about, and here is the contact, is about. And now let's execute it. So here it is, and now let's give it the styles to the anchor tag. And here is, copy this, paste it. Here is the anchor tag, and first of all I'm going to give it the padding to the anchor tag, top side 27 pixel and 17 pixel. So this 27 pixel is apply on the top and the bottom, and this 17 pixel for the left and the right side. And here is the letter spacing is become 2 pixel. So by giving this padding here, I'm going to show you what is the effect. Here you can see that this background is the anchor tag, or you can also say that this is a padding on the top side and the bottom side. So that's why we have give it. So here it is. And next thing is the text decoration none. My text decoration is none, and here is the color is become #33, just like white and gray type. And here is the font weight 500 pixel, and here is the border is 0, and here is the text transform uppercase. Here is the uppercase, and here is the line height 1. And then here is the display block. Here is the block, and after this we have to apply the position relative. And then here is the box sizing. Here is the box sizing is border box. And now let's execute it. So now it is adjusted, you can see that. And now I'm gonna give it the background when we take the mouse over this menu. So its background is become orange type, and here is dot menu li hover. Here is A is become, Here is the background, hash f354 2D, and here is the color is become white. And now here it is. Here you can see that this menu is ready, and now the next thing is we have to put this slider, then it will be okay. And I'm gonna put this slider in the next lecture. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. And now welcome to this lecture. If you have any problem in my previous lecture, so kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. And now in this lecture I'm gonna build this slider. So first of all we will put a section, and in that section we will put this image. We will create a separate div, and that div contain this span text and this heading. Let's start. Here is this, and this is the section that is for the slider, and here I'm gonna give it the class slider, and then in between this here I'm gonna insert the image src, and here is images, and here is slider show. Here is slider show. Here we don't need to write slider show. Here is the image 1.jpg, and now this image is inserted. Let's check it. Here it is. Now I'm gonna check its name. Here we have to write slide show, and here it is. And now we have to give it height and width and then adjust it, then it will be okay. And now after this we have to create another div that is here. This is a black div. It have the black background and it is little transparent by using the opacity. And now another thing is this div, that is the black div, it have the text, it have z index greater than the z index of this slider image. So now that's why I'm gonna give the z index to this div greater than the z index of this image, because we have to show this text and the div on the top of this image. And here I'm gonna create another div for the text. Here is the class caption, and here is the div, and then here I'm gonna create the h1. Here is the h1, and in between this we have to put the text. Here it is, and then after it we have to put the text in the span. Here is the span, and here it is. Copy and paste it here, and here is the div that contain the text, and here is the slider section. And now let's give it the styles. And here is, first of all, give the style to the slider div, give it the height and width. Here is, first of all, position is relative, and then here is the width is become 100%, and then here is overflow is become hidden, and then here is the height is 600 pixel. This is the height of the image, and we have to give the same height and width to the div that is also the height and width of the image. And now here it is. So now let's give the height and width to the image. Here is dot slider, and here is the display block, and here is the position relative, and then here is I'm gonna give it the z index to the image have the z index 1, and then we will give the z index to the this div 2, then it will be shown on the upper side. And here is the maximum height of the image is 600 pixel. Here is 600 pixel, and here is the width. And now let's check it. Here is this. So now the image is inserted. Now the next thing is, here we have to give the style to that div that contains the text and give it the z index 2. And here is, I have given it the class caption, and here is the class caption dot caption. Here is, and here it is, display block. And here is the z index to show it on the top. Here I'm gonna give it the z index 2, and then here I'm gonna give it the black background. Here then you can understand it why it is why we have given it the z index 2. Here I'm gonna give the color in the RGBA, and here is the color is 000, and I will give the opacity later. And here is, I'm gonna give the 0.9 full opacity, and here we have to set its position, and here is the absolute position, and here is 0, right side is also 0, and here is the bottom side is also 0. And now here it is. Here you can see that this is the div that is appear on the top of this image. It contains the text. It is shown on the top because it have the z index 2. This image have the z index 1. And now here it is. Left side is 0, right side is 0. So when all sides are 0, and that's why it is shown just like normally. And that's why when we give it the bottom side 0, so it is shown on the bottom side. When we give the top side 0, so it will show here. At this point we have give the bottom side 0, so the bottom side distance is removed, then it will show at the bottom side. And now here is, I'm gonna reduce the opacity to 0.7, and then here is the color of the text is white #FFF, and here is the padding of the div is 30 pixel, and here is the 20 pixel, and here is the 10 pixel. 20 pixel is just for left and right, 30 pixel is just for top, 10 pixel is just for bottom. And here is the text line in the center, and here is the margin, maximum width, none. And now here is the, let's check it. So here it is created. So we have given it the maximum width none, so it have not any maximum width. It can be anything, or its maximum width is maybe 2000 pixel or anything, you can say that. And now here I'm gonna give the font size to this text, and then I will reduce this margin on the bottom side of this heading. And here it is, right dot caption, and here is the font size, here is this, and here is this, and margin bottom 20 pixel, and here is, and now I will give the font size to this span, and then I will remove the default margin and the padding of the H1. And here is, let's give the style to the span text. And here is this, and first of all I'm gonna remove the margin and the padding of all the H1 and the H2, H3 and all the headings that we will create in the future in this website, and then I will give the font size and line height to all the headings and that we will use. And here I'm gonna add the distance, and here it is, and here is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and here it is. Margin is 0 and the padding is also 0. Here it is, and then here I'm gonna give the font size to the headings. First of all, H1 and H2, here is its font size is 25 pixel, and here is the line height is also 25 pixel, and here is 4 others, and here is 4, and here is 3, and here is 5, and here is 6, and here is 20 and 20, and here is 16 and 16. And now let's execute it. So now it is adjusted, and from the next lecture I'm gonna create this content area. We have to create a section, and then in that section we have to create the section for this thing, all of these posts, and then we will create a separate section for this and this. So see you in the next lecture. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this slider, we have inserted this div and it containing the text, and now we are gonna build the content area. And first of all we will build this area, and now let's start. Here is, and this section is the content area, and I'm not gonna give it any class. And in this section we have to create a separate section for this featured service, this part that contain these 3 images and this heading. So here is section, and here is its closing tag. Here is the section, and here I'm gonna give class. Here is the class name is content box, and here is the box 1. And now after it, here I'm gonna give another div. Here is, and its class name is container, and here is its closing tag. And then after this, first of all what we need to do, we have to create this thing that is the heading of this section. So this black background is the background of the heading H2, and then this text is inside the span, and then this paragraph. So now here I'm gonna create it. First of all, put this heading inside a div. Here is a div to contain this heading. here is div, here is class, and now here we have to place header, and then here is div. And then after this, what we need to do, we have to put the h2 heading and then this text in a span, and here is h2, here is class heading, here is, and then here is a span, here is a span, and then in between this we have to write featured service. And now after this heading we have to put a paragraph under it. Here is the paragraph, here is its closing tag, and then here is its opening tag. Now it is okay, and this heading is ready. And now let's give it the style. First of all, I'm gonna reload it. Here it is. So now what we need to do, we have to apply the background color black to the h2 heading and then give the style to this text. And let's start. We have to give the margin on the bottom side of this section. Here I'm going to show you, this is the margin on the bottom side, and we have to use this content box. And here is start from this. First of all, the content box, to create the distance between two sections, here is the margin on the bottom side is 30 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give the style to the content box. Here is the box 1, it contains the box 1. Here don't create the distance between these two things because both classes are given to the same element, and if we write only one then it will be okay. And now here in the box 1 we have to give the height to this box, and here is the minimum height is 380 pixel, and then here is the padding on the bottom side is 30 pixel. So now the padding is added on the bottom side and its height, complete height of this section is defined, and here is this. And now we have to give the style to the div that contains the heading. Here is the header, and first of all give it the text align center, so the text is automatically aligned in the center. Here is the text align in the center of the div, and here is the margin is 60 pixel from the top side, and here is the auto on the left and right, and 50 pixel on the down side. So what is this distance? This is the distance on the top and the bottom side of this heading. Here you can see that, and now I'm going to execute it. So here you see that the distance of the top and the bottom side is defined, and the height of this section is already defined by using this box1 class. And then now I'm going to give the style to this h2 heading by using its class heading. Here it is, here is heading, and first of all background, black background, and here is we have to insert the border on the right side. Here is the right, and here is the 6 pixel solid hash F3542D. Here is So now a black color border is applied on the heading, and here is its border right. And now I'm gonna adjust it. We will give it width and height, then it will be okay. Here is height is 60 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give it the color to the text. Here is #ff white, and then here is the display of the text is inline block, and then here is the font size 36 pixel, and then here is the font weight normal, and then here is the line height 42 pixel, and then give it the padding on the top, all the four sides. Here I'm going to give 10 pixel for the top and the bottom side. Here is height, and here is the 10 pixel for the top and bottom, 20 pixel for the left and right side. Then here it is. So now it is adjusted. We have give it the padding, and top side 10 pixel, 20 pixel down side. And now here we have to move this div. Here you see that this h2 heading, here you see that it is literally transform. We have to apply the transform property on it. Here is, first of all, give the position relative, and then here is the transform. Here is, and rotate it to the 0 degree. So this heading is rotate to the 0 degree, and then here is scale, and then we have to move, and here I'm gonna write 1.0, or you can write 1. So what is the function of this scale? So by using the scale, we have given it the value 1.0, or you can only write 1. So now the height and width is increased by 1 pixel. The width and height of this heading is increased by using this scale, or you can also say that the scale increases the width in the x-axis, height in the y-axis. Just simple. And then we have to give it skew property, and it will move the element. The skew is a little hard to define. What is it? Its movement is so tough, or you can say that it is just 3D movement, so you cannot explain it. It will move the element in the x and y axis by -40 degree, and I have already teach you the effect of these functions in the CSS section, so you can view that lecture. And here is the translate. So the translate will move the element in the x and y axis by the given parameter. Here we have given the 0 pixel, so it will move the 0 pixel in the y axis and in the x axis. And now here is, let's see what happened. So now it is tilted, and now here you see that this is not flat, it is just disturbed, or you can see you feel that this heading is just like it is not in good quality. It have poor pixels or poor image quality. So we have to apply this thing, transform style flat. So now it will be okay. It is just flat, or it just make it smooth. And now the next thing is, here you see that this heading is not tilted. This text is just fine, it is not moved, but here the text is moved. So how to make it correct? And now here I'm gonna give the style to the span, then it is not tilted, it is not in the italic style no more, and here is display it as a block to apply these styles, otherwise it will not apply. And now here copy these styles and paste it here, and here it is. And now here is a little difference of this skew. This is minus 14 degrees, so we have to write it 40 degrees, then it will be okay. And here it is. So now it is correct. And here you see that its width is less. Here you see that its width is equal to the paragraph, because these letters are all capital, so we have to provide it text transform. Here is the text transform uppercase, here is uppercase, and then here it is. And now the next thing is we have to build this thing, and now let's start. Here is this, and now after this div we have to create a div. Here is a class row, here is the row, here is a div, here it is. Here in this row we will put all of these 3 images and its text, but one image and its text take 33% weight. And now I'm gonna create the first one, and here is its div class, and here is just one div, and here is the wrap goal class wrap goal, and here is the item, the class is given to it. And now after this what we need to do, we have to give an image. So this image, we have to put this image in a div, because when we take the mouse over it, so it becomes zoom, so we have to use its div, and this image is just in a div. So make a div for an image, and here I'm gonna give it the class zoom. We will use it when we want to zoom on the image. Here is the div, and here is images / banner. Here is img1.jpg, and now it's okay. And after this we have to create a div, and in this div we will put this text. Here is the closing tag of the div, and in between this we have to put the text and this link. Here I'm going to copy this text, copy it, and then paste it here. So the first line is in the span. Here is span, and here it is. And the second line is in the paragraph, because before this paragraph the margin is already present, the space is present due to its default margin of the paragraph. This is a paragraph, and then after it we have to create this link, more details, and here is anchor tag, and here is hyperreference hash, and here is the class to give it the styles btn, and here is anchor tag, and here is more details. So now this div is ready, this image div is ready, and whole div is ready. And now in the next lecture I'm gonna give it the style, then it will be just like this. And here I'm gonna reload it. So now it have not any styles, width and anything. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we are creating this little gallery, and we have reached at this space at this place, and now we have to give it the styles. And first of all we have to create the adjust one, and then we have to give the style by using the item. So this item class is just for giving the padding on the top and the bottom side of the div. Here you can see that on the top side there is a space, on the below side there is also a space. And now let's do it. First of all create the adjust one. Here is adjust one and the wrap call. Here is the adjust one. Here is copy it, and here is, here I'm gonna write it directly adjust one, and here is its, give it float left. Here is the display inline. Here is block, and then after it we have to give it width. Here is the width is 33% of the total width. Here it is 0.33, and now here is, I'm gonna give the style to this item. Here is, here is dot content box. Here is this, and here I'm gonna write padding 10 pixel, and here is 0 for the left and right, 10 pixel on the top and bottom. And here is its width is adjusted because we have given it 33%. And now let's give the style to the image. Here is the div of the image, zoom, and here is this, and here is the position is relative, and here is overflow is hidden, and here is the display is inline block, and here is the width is 100%. Hey, exclamation mark and important, here it is. So now this div have the 100% width, and the 100%, what is the meaning of the 100%? 100% means this zoom div cover all the width that is provided to its parent div. This is the parent div adjust one, and it have the total width 33%. So it means this zoom div will cover all the 33% width. And now let's give the style to the image that is here. Here it is dot, I'm gonna copy it, and here it is. Here is img, and first of all write the display of the images as a block. and then here is the width of the image is 100%, and here is important, and here is the height auto, so its height is automatically adjusted. Here is the transition all, so the transition will be applied on all the properties that is related to the image. And here is 0.5 seconds transition, and here is ease. So what is the transition? Transition is just a way to slow the animation. Then we can see the animation. Here it is. And now let's give the style to the content. Image is adjusted because we have give it width 100%, so that's why it is shown completely. And now let's give the style to the text. Here is this item content, here it is this class. First of all, give the style to this class, and this div, here it is. And before it, here is, and here is the background color is white, the text background color is white, and here is the padding 25 pixel, and then here is the border of the div is 1 pixel solid, hash DDD gray color. And now here is the div that contain the content, its name is item content, and here is the padding around it. Here is around the text padding. And now let's give this style to this text that is here, this uppercase text that is in the span, and here I'm gonna use it. Here is span, and now here is font size 15 pixel, and here is the font weight 500 pixel, and here is the color is black. And now let's reload it. Here it is. And now here you see that this div have the distance on its top side. So now here we have to give it some style to this span and the div and the images. Here I'm gonna write it. Here is image div and span. Here is vertical align to the top side. And now let's reload it. Here it is. So now it is okay, there is no distance between this image and the div. And now we have to give the style to this paragraph. We have to reduce this space on the upper side of the paragraph. Here you see that we have to adjust all of these things. Here the paragraph have the different colors, so we have to give the style to all the paragraphs. Here is P, and here I'm gonna give it, here is the color is hash 777, just light gray, and here is the margin to the paragraph on the top and the bottom side is 10 pixel, left right is 0, and here is this. So now here you see that on the top side the margin is reduces, also the margin is added on the bottom side, so the anchor tag have the distance. And now we have to give the style to this link, and first of all I'm gonna apply a default style on all the anchor tags, and here is the color. The color is HFF and 970B. This is just a orange or light orange type color, and here is the text decoration is none. And then after this, here I'm gonna give vertical align to the top. Here is vertical align top, and here is. Now the next thing is when we take the mouse over the anchor tag, so we have to give it text decoration is underline. And now let's execute it. So here it is, and now we have to give it some other styles. Here you can see that this thing is awesome, and here it is. The difference is it have not the style, so I'm gonna give the style to this anchor tag by using its class btn. Here is the btn, and then we will give the other styles when we take the mouse over it. So a picture is become zoom. Here is it is border 3 pixels solid, and here is hash. It is just like orange color 583E, and then here is the border radius around the anchor tag is 3 pixel, and then here is the display is inline block, and here is the font size 14 pixel, and here is the font family Racing 1. We have included that font at the start, Racing 1. And then here is the line height is, here is 1.4, just half, and here is the margin on the bottom side of the anchor tag is 0. And now let's execute it. So here it is. We will give it more styles, then it will be okay. We will give it the padding on the top and bottom side 6 pixel, left and right is 12 pixel, and here is the text line to the center. So the text will be in the center of the anchor tag, and here is the transform. We have to make it just like this. It is tilted italic, like italic. So here I'm gonna give it. Here is copy the style from the above. Here it is. Here is, and then here is the vertical align middle, and white space is no wrap. It is not necessary, but I'm going to include it. So why we include the white space no wrap? Because when we don't include it, so these are the two words, so maybe when we open this website on the mobile or on any other laptop or on any other machine, so these two words are maybe into the new lines, maybe broke into two words. This thing is okay. Next thing is when we take the mouse over it, so this image is become zoom. The background of this text is become changed. The color of the text is also changed. The background of this anchor tag is changed. Border color is changed. Its color is changed. So now we have to apply the style on the three things. First is image. Second is this content area, its background and the color of the text is changed. And the third thing is anchor tag. Its border, background and the color of the text is changed. and now here is this. I'm gonna apply those styles here. Here is, and here is, first of all, let's apply the style on the image. Copy this, here it is, and when we take the mouse over the item div, this div will contain the image and the text, both things. So that's why here is dot zoom div image. Here is the transform property will be applied on this image. Here is the scale, so the image width and height is increased by 1.25 and it is rotate to the 5 degree. Here it is, and now let's check it. Here you see that it is moved, and now we have to apply the style on this text. And now here I'm gonna apply the style on the background of the text and their color. Here it is, and now here is, when we take the mouse over the item, so here is the item content, here is the item content, the style is applied on it. Here is the background, it's become red. Here is hash F3542D, and then here is the color, it's become white. And now here it is, its color is changing. We will apply the color on the paragraph by specifying it separately. We will give the paragraph color to the paragraph and the span separately, but here we have to apply another thing, that is the transition. So here is the 600 millisecond, and here is ease, and then here is the border color. Border will also apply, but the color of the on the text is not going to be applied. Here is F2 6324, and here is, remove this because it is not executing right now. Here is this, the transition is applied, so it is filling so smoothly. And now I'm gonna give the white color to this text. Here is this, and when we take the mouse over it, here is copy this, and we have to apply the color, white color, on the paragraph and on the span. Here I'm gonna write span. Here it is, color hash white. Here I'm gonna separate it by writing all this thing. When we take the mouse over the span, here it is. So now all the things are correct. We have to change just the border of the anchor tag and its background and the color. Here it is. Let's start. First of all, paste this. When we take the mouse over the item div and item content, here is, remove this, and here we have to write a.btn class, and here is its border color is become, border color is become white, and here is the text color is also become white. Here is the hash FFF, and then here is the border. Here is, and here is, and now let's execute it. So now here it is created, and now I'm gonna copy and paste the code. Then we will create the two images, the next two images. Here, copy from the adjust one and paste it inside the row div. This is the row div closing tag, and here is, and here is, this is 3 and here is 2. Here it is, and now here is this. So now all the things are okay. We have to create the distance between these images. This distance is not created because we have not defined the wrap goal. Wrap goal will provide the distance around it by using the margin. Here is 10 pixel. So now here it is. So this thing is okay, and so thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this part, we have inserted these posts, and now in this lecture we are going to build this section. First of all, what you need to do, just create the container div and the section content box and then a row, and we have to put this heading. So we have already know how to create it, then this paragraph. So it is just simple. Here in the index, here is the closing tag of the section, and here we have to paste the code of this new section, and here is section content box, and we have also need this header and its row div. And now let's copy it and paste it here. Here we need to create a section, so that's why here is its opening tag of the section, and here I'm gonna write its closing tag of the section. And then after it, here I'm gonna remove this from here, and we have to put this header and the heading also in the div row. Here is closing tag of the divs, and then here is, so all the closing tags are completed, and here we have to give it box 2, and here is the div container and row div, and here is the header, and here I'm gonna give a different text. Here is welcome, and after it we have to give a paragraph, and this paragraph contain the text. And here is this, and now execute it. So here it is. So now the next thing is we have to put the image in the back, and then we have to give it the styles, then it will be okay. And here we have to remove this paragraph under the heading, remove it, and now here is the div, and here it is. And all the things are okay. Here it is. And now we have to add a little space at this. Here we have to add a new line, or you can also call it space, and here is br, and here it is. And now let's give the style to this box too. Then the text is a line, and then we have to give it the background image. First of all, give the background image. Here is the content box, and here is, we have to write box 2, and then here is the background image. Here is the URL, and here is this, and here is images / background 2.jpg, and here is the fixed 0 and 0. So now here it is, let's check it. And here is the image is not inserted because here is the fault. Here we have to write like this, and then it is inserted. And now we have to give it the style to this box too. We have to give it the padding because the image width is just same as the width of the box too and as the width of this div here box 2. And now here is the padding on the top and the bottom side, 14 pixel, left right 0 pixel. So a distance is added on the top and the bottom side, here you can see that. And then here is the text is aligned to the center. Here is the center. Here is it is in the center. And now the next thing is minimum height. Here I'm going to give the minimum height to this div. Here it is, the minimum height is 380 pixels, so it will be apply. And the next thing is the color to this paragraph, and here is HFFF, and here is important. And now let's execute it. So here it is not applying. Here is the color is this. So now the color is not applying by using this method. We will apply the color by separately. We have to copy this and then we have to reference the paragraph. Here is this, and here it is paragraph, and here is the color is HFFF, and then here it is, the color is applying on it. Here you can see that. And now the next thing is this thing, we will build this heading and then this post. Here the image is on the left side and this post is on the right side, and then we will build this. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this image and we have put this text, and now we are gonna build this part, these post. So first of all, let's do this. We have to create another section. Here is copy this because we need it. This is the same code, and here is this, and then after it we need its closing tags. So here are the closing tags, and here is the closing tag, and here is the div and the section. And now what we need to do here, we have to write about auto image about auto image. And now here after the closing tag of this header, we have to create a div post, and in that div we will place one post, its image and its text. And now here I'm gonna reload it. So here it is, and now we have to change this. Here we have to write box 3, then it will be okay. Here it is, this heading is created, and here is a div to contain the post. Here is the post, and then here is its closing tag. And now in this div, first of all, we have to make a div who have the 50% width. Here you see that. Here I want to tell you something, that this is a section element, and this div have the equal width as the width of the row container, or consider the width of the post is equal to the container. So now here we have to create a div. In that div we will place the image, and we have to give it the width 50%. So the 50% width is given to the image and 50% width is given to the text div. And here is, let's start. here is a div that contains the image. Here I'm gonna give it 50% width, so adjust to, and here is this, and here is images, img, src, images 23.jpg. And now after this, what we need to do, we have to create another adjust to div. Adjust to, and here is the div, and now here we have to create a wrapper. So by using this wrapper, we will give it the different properties to give it the padding on the right and the left side and bottom and the top of the text. And here is this. So this div is just for the text, this div is just for the text, and this is the one post. Here I'm gonna reduce this, and this div is just for the image. And now here I'm gonna put the first image text. Here it is, here is, and here is the link. We will also create it. Here is it, remove it, we have its code, we will copy the code, and here is the first thing is in the h3 heading. Here is the h3, and here is the paragraph. Here is, now after this paragraph we have to paste anchor tag. Here I'm gonna copy the anchor tag. Here is, just edit it and write read more. Here is this, and now here is this, and let's execute it. Here it is, and now we have to give it the style to the image and the text, then it will be okay. Here is, first of all, create the adjust to. Here is, it have the 50% width. Here you can see that 50% width is given to the image, 50% is for the text, so the total width is equal to the container. And now here is adjust to. Adjust to have the width 50%, and here is and now it is created. Here let's check it. Here it is, and now we have to give the style to this box 3 by using the box 3, and then we will give the style to the post to give it the background color and all the things. I'm gonna give the style to the post. I'm gonna manage this post. Here you can see that here is the post, and let's give it some styles. Dot content box 3. Here I'm going to copy it and then paste it here. Here is the box 3 dot post. Here is the background color of the post. Here I'm going to give it the background color a little gray type. Here you can see that this is the gray type color, so we are gonna insert this color, and then after it we have to give the color to the text a little black and gray. Here is hash 3f, and then here is the margin on the bottom side. Here is the 30 pixel, so space is added below the post section, and here is the 1 pixel solid hash FFF, and here is, you see that this is the margin 30 pixel, and now let's execute it. So now the margin is added and we will give it more styles. Here is this, and now give the style to the image that is inside the post. Here is copy this, here it is image, give it the width and height. Here is this, here is maximum width, maximum height 440 pixel, and here is the width 100%, and here is the border, here is none, and here it is. I have given it the width 100%, but the actually width that is given to its div is the 50%. Here you can see that its div have the 50% width of the total width. So now it is covering all the 50% width because we have given it the 100%, so it means 50%. So now the next thing is I'm going to give the style to the wrapper. What is the wrapper? Wrapper is a div that contain this text. We will give it the padding from all the sides, then it will be okay. And here is post it, and here is dot wrapper. Here is the padding 60 pixel and top 60 pixel left, and here is 20 pixel bottom, and here is 60 pixel right side, and then here is the text align to the center, and here is, let's execute it. So here is, it's fine, and now let's look at it. Here is the box 3, and here is the background, and all things are applying on it. And now I'm gonna create the second one, so what we need to do, we just need to copy and paste the code again, but here the content is going to be mixed up. Here is copy it and then paste it again. And now here is what do we need to do, we just need to change the image name, then see it what happened. So here is it is inserted. Now here I want to tell you another thing, that is we have to give float right to the image. We have to give it the class float right in the second post. And here I want to tell you something, that here you see that this background have a different color, but here is not. This content is also float onto the other content. This is just because we have not provide a little space and the clear both properties before and after the content, then it will be okay. Here I'm gonna give it, here is, this is the div, and here I'm gonna write f right, and now here is, I'm gonna give it dot f right, and here is float to the right. So the image is floated to the right side. And now the next thing is, it is already floated because the content is floated on each other, and now we have to insert a space before and after the post divs, because here you see that there are two post divs, so that's why they are floated onto each other. So now let's give it the style here at the end. Here I'm also gonna give this style to the sections, because we have created too many sections, so I'm not gonna allow any section to the float on any other section, and that's why I'm gonna create it. Here is this, and here is this, and here write this, and here is section, and here is clear both. Here I'm gonna give clear both, visibility, heat, and all the properties, and here we have given these properties. Copy it, and then here is paste it here, and then here is the clear both. And now let's do it. So now it is adjusted, and now you see that this image is on the right side, the background is apply, because we have not give the priority to the float. Right here we have to give it priority, it is not apply, important. Let's check it. So now here it is adjusted, and the next thing is we have to build this thing, this section. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion, I will help you as much as I can. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this post area. Here you can see that this area we have inserted these images and their text, and now in this lecture we are going to build this thing here. First of all, this is the background image. Here you can see that this is an image, it have different style in the background. We will insert this image, this heading, and then these are the 4 headings, and each heading will take only 25% width. So now let's start. This is the closing tag of the previous section, post section, and here is we have to create a new one, and now I'm gonna copy that thing from here and paste it, and now here is the closing tags, this, and now this is the section, div, and now here we have to write, edit it and write service, and now we have to create a div here that have the 25% width, and it will contain this heading and their text. Here is div class, here is adjust 3, here is the div, and now here is the wrap goal, here is the item class, and now we have given the item class to create a padding on the top and the bottom side of this heading and the text. And now here I'm gonna copy this text and paste it here, and this is a h3 heading, here is its closing tag, and here is its starting tag, and now here is the paragraph, here is its closing tag. So now what we need to do, we have to copy it and paste it 4 times, and you can change the text simply, and here is the 4th time, and we have to create this adjust 3, and then here is the box 4. First of all, create the adjust 3. Here is the adjust 3, it have the 25% width, 25%. Here is adjust 3, and here is adjust 3. Now it is okay, and now we will give the style to the box 4. Copy it here I'm going to copy this, and then here it is, box 4. Here is background, here is URL, here is this dot images, and here is background 3.jpg. We are gonna insert the background. Here I will show you what is its background. The image of its background, here is the height is 380 pixel, and the padding to the background to create the space on the top side and the bottom side, and 0 for the left and right. And then here is the text align. Here is text align to the center, and here is its background image. This is the background image, and now let's check it. Here I'm gonna save it, reload it, and here is it is inserted. So the background is not apply. Why? Here I'm gonna check it. Here is the fault, and now let's check it. So now here it is inserted, and you can change this text. I'm not going to change this text. This is just a little work, and now I'm gonna create this thing, this and this. So here this side is taking 33%, it is also taking 33% width, it have also 33% width. This is the heading, paragraph, logo, and then text, and this is a list item and all the things. So now let's start. Here is after the closing tag of the section. Here is, let's copy the same code. Here it is, and now here is copy this, paste it, here is added this to the box 5, and then here I'm gonna edit it because it have not any header or any heading. So inside the row div, first of all we will create this first div who have the 33% width. Here is adjust one, it is already created, and here is its closing tag. Now here is the wrap call and the item class. Here is the wrap call and item. The wrap call is just for creating the distance between the padding and the divs, and the item is just for creating the padding on the top and downside of the paragraphs. Here you see that this distance, and box 5 is just for creating this border around the div and this distance on the right side. And now here is, first of all I'm gonna put the content of the first div. Here I'm gonna copy this, here it is in the h3 heading. h3, here is the span, and then after this we have to insert the image. Here is the image, and here is image source, images, and here is the logo.png. And then after this we have to insert this text. Here is this, here is this, here is the paragraph is starting, and here we have to insert the anchor tag. Here I'm going to copy the anchor tag. Here is read more. Here it is, and here is more only. So now the first div is created. Here is the h3 heading, and here is its text, and here is the paragraphs. So all the things are okay, and now let's check it. Here it is, but now one thing is left. We have to create a border on its right side like this, and then create a distance inside the border, and we have to use the box 5, and here I'm gonna use it. Here copy it, box 5, here it is, and here I'm gonna apply this style on the item div, and here is the border right, the border on the right side. Here border right is 1 pixel solid hash cc, just gray type, and here it is. So now it have not the distance under it, so we have to give it a distance by using the padding right. Here is the 30 pixel, and then we have to give the minimum height to the whole section, 380 pixel. Here it is, and now here is it. So now here is the padding is created, and this thing have a specific minimum height, that is 380 pixel. And now here you see that when we take the mouse over this, so this anchor tag is become disabled. It is not showing, but the anchor tag is still present. Here you see that it is present. And now here I'm gonna give it some style, then it will be okay. Style, here it is. Here I'm gonna give it border. Here is 3 pixel solid hash D258 3E. Here is the 3E, and then here is the color is hash FF970B, and now check it, and here it is still present. And now the next thing is we have to create this section. So let's start. Here is, this is the div, and now here I'm going to copy this and paste it right after it. Here it is inside the row div. This is the closing tag of the row div, and here is, copy this, and here it is. So first of all, what we need to do, we have to put some content. So now I'm going to copy it, and here it is, and then paste it, and here it is, h3, here is h3, and here is span, and here is paragraph, here is the closing tag of the P. And now after it, what we need to do, we have to create the another list. First of all, I'm gonna reload it. So here it is, and let's create this list. Here I'm gonna copy a single text, and then I will create the copies of it. Here is the class, here is the link, and here is the UL, and here is the list items, here is the list items, and here is the anchor tag, and here is this hyperreference, here is hyperreference, and now we have to give the style to this list by using its class, and we have to insert these squares, and now let's use its class and give it the styles. First of all, here I'm gonna create a margin on the bottom side of the list. Here is 25 pixels, so a distance is created on the bottom side, and here is the text is aligned to the left side. And then here I'm gonna give a margin on the bottom side of every list item. Here you see that every list item have the margin, and here is this, and here is a margin bottom 5 pixel, and then here is dot link A. I'm gonna give the style to the anchor tags. Here is the anchor tags. First of all, display it as the inline, and then here is block, and then here is the text decoration, none, and here is the font weight. Font weight is become bold, and here is the letter spacing. Letter spacing is 1 pixel, and then here is the font size. Font size is 12 pixel, and now it's okay, and let's execute it. This black dot is a space, and we have give it the height, width, and the black background. And now when we take the mouse over it, so its color is red, and I'm also gonna give it this style, and here it is, hover, and here is hash F2 26324, and then here is the link li, and before the list items here is the content, and then here is the margin on the right side. So a space is created between the list items. Here you see that this is the margin, right, and here is a space is added, and then here is a display inline block, and then here is the width, and then here is the height, and then here is the margin bottom. Here I'm gonna give 2 pixel margin on the bottom side of every list item. This black dot so we have created a margin bottom on the downside of these dots, and then here is the background color, it's just like black, and here it is. So now it is inserted, and now we have to create this. I'm gonna create this thing in the next lecture. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have reached at this stage, and now we have to build this content area. And so now let's start. Here is this, and now we have to copy this adjust one div and its closing tag, and here is right after this, here it is, and these are the closing tags of these divs. Here it is. And now first of all, what we need to do, we have to create this content. And now here you see that there is no border on the right side, and here I'm gonna reload it. So here is the border is created. So first of all, remove this border because we don't need it. At the end, the style border right none. Here is the border right none, and now here it is no more present. And now let's copy the first content. This is the heading, span and the paragraph, and here is paste it here, and here is the h3, and here is the h3, and then here is the span, and now here is the closing tag of the span, and here is the paragraph, and here is the closing tag of the paragraph. And now after this paragraph we need to create this dashed border. This is the horizontal rule, and here I'm going to create it by writing HR, and then here we have to put style, and here is the border is 1 pixel solid. It's not solid, it's dashed, and here is #cc, and then we also need to give the margin on the top and the bottom side of the border. Here is 17 pixel and 0 for the left and right. So here is that 17 pixel on the top and the bottom side, and here it is created. And now I'm gonna check it why it is not dashed. Here is border dashed #c, and now it is okay. Here it is, and now we have to copy and paste it, and then you can change the text. Here is this. I hope you can change the text, and here is this, and I'm not paste this text, and at the end there is no horizontal rule, and here is move this, and here is this, remove this, and at the end there is no horizontal rule. So now here it is complete. So in this way you have to build this thing, and now in the next lecture we are gonna look forward. So thank you for watching this video, and if you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. See you in the next lecture. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have reached at this place. We have built this bar and it containing some text and the picture, and then we will build this section, and then we have built this part. And now in this lecture we are gonna build this footer. This map is also inside the footer. So first of all we will insert this map inside the footer in a separate div. Its width is 100%, and then we will build this content part of the footer. This is the content of the footer, and now let's start. Here is the footer. Create a div. Here is the div class, and here is map. Here is its closing tag. Here it is, and now here I'm gonna add a distance, and now here I'm gonna insert the map. So first of all, here I'm gonna get the link of the map, and you have already know how to get the link of the map. And go to the Google Map, and then we have to click on this option. Here it is, and then here click on the share or embed, and here is click on embed map and copy this link and then paste it here. So now here you can see that there is a width, height of the iframe, and the frame border is 0. So all the attributes are present. And now here I'm gonna give it 100% width because the map is spread over all over the screen. Here you can see that its width is 100%. And then here is the height is 250 pixel, and you remove it, and then all the things are correct. Now let's execute it. Here is, and here it is loaded, and here you can see that the map is inserted. But one thing that I want to tell you, we have to add the space on the above and the downside of the map. So here you can see that there is space on the downside. Here you can see that this space is just inserted by using the margin. And now I'm going to give the margin. Here is, by using this class, I'm going to give it the margin. Here is map dot map, and here is the margin 30 pixel, and here is 0. And now here it is. So now here you can see that space is added on the top and the bottom side. And now here at this spot we have to create we have to give the background to the footer, and then we will create the text of the footer. And now let's start. This is the background of the footer, and here is inside the footer. Now we have to make the div. So in the footer div we will give this content and this background. Here is this div, and here is the class wrap footer, and then here is the div. And now we have to give the width to the div, add a div which have the width equal to the footer equal to the header. And here is container, and then here I'm gonna provide the row, so content is not going to be float onto each other or not going to be mixed. It contains the content. Here is this. And now first of all, what we need to do, we have to place the heading. Here is, this is the heading, and I'm gonna copy all of this thing. Here is, we have to copy it and then paste it here. And here is, this contact is a h3 heading. Here is h3, and then after it, here we have to give the span. Here is the span, and here is br. Here is the br, and here is the span. Here is the br, and here is the span. Span closing tag. And then here we have to include this text also inside the span. This is the small text, so that's why I have placed this text inside the span. And here let's reload it. So now it is shown here. We will give it the style, then it will be okay. And here are the two links. So this text is also inside the strong. It have the font weight more than the others, and here I'm gonna place it inside the strong. Here is the strong closing tag. Here is this, and Here is anchor tag, and now here is the closing tag, hyperreference, hash, and here is hyperreference hash. So now let's reload it. So here it is created, here are the links, and now I'm gonna give the style to this text by using the class. First of all, I will give the margin on the top side to this footer, and then the text align to the center background color, and then I will use this wrap footer, and here it is. First of all, the footer element, and I'm gonna create the margin on the top side. Here is the margin on the top side is 40 pixel, and here is so now a margin on the top side is created, and now the next thing is the text line in the center. So the text is become in the center, here it is, and then here is the background color, that is orange type. Here is F35 and for 2D, and here it is. And now here is the background and all things, and now I'm gonna give the style to the anchor tag. Here you can see that anchor tags have the yellow color. I'm gonna give it the white color to the anchor tags. Here is the color, and here it is. Here is the footer dot. We have to give the style to the wrap footer that contain the text. Here is the wrap footer, and the wrap footer have the color of the text white, and here is the font size. Here is 13 pixel, and then here is the padding on the top and the bottom side, 30 pixel, 20 pixel from the left and right side, and here it is loading, and here is the padding on the top and the bottom side is created. And now I'm gonna give this the margin on the bottom side of this H3 heading, then it will be okay. Here is the dot wrap footer, margin bottom 10 pixel, and here it is created. And here you see that there is a little space is created under it, and the footer is not correct, so I'm gonna check it. Here is the div map, and here is the fault. We have placed the closing tag of this map div and here, and that's why this content is inside the map div, so that's why it is not shown correctly, and here it is shown correctly. Here you can see that all the things are okay, and here we have to place this text. Here is this text is outside. Here is we have to place the break line, and here it is okay. So now in the next lecture I'm going to create the second page. Here is this motorbike, and first of all what we need to do, we have to create this subheader. We can also call it subheader. It have the background image and then heading and then text in the paragraph, and then we will build this post. It contains the heading and then this text name and the date, and it contains the image and the text related to the post. We will create this thing, and then we will create this meta lasted and all the things. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this footer, we have inserted this map, and now in this lecture what we need to do, we have to create the second page. So here is the second page, motorbike, and now we have to create the page and then copy the code of the header and the footer because it is the same, and then we will create this subheader and then this post area and then these sidebars. And now let's start. Here is the control N and save it as motorbike.html, and here is, and now let's copy the header. Here is, this is the header, copy it and paste it here. Here it is. And then after this there is a section, it contains the content area. Here I'm gonna create it, section, and here is its closing tag, it contains the content, and here I'm gonna insert the footer code and the closing tags of the body, main and the HTML. Here is footer, and here is its closing tag. Here first of all reduce this distance, here is this, and now it is okay. Footer, and here is this. So now it is created and all the things are okay, and in the section we need to create the content area. Here I'm gonna reload it, and then here is the motorbike, and here you can see that the map is inserted. This is the footer, and now we have to insert this subheader in the content area. And here is, first of all, here we have to create a div, and here is the div, and here is, give it the class clear fix. So now what is the function of this class? By using this class we will insert a space before and after this div, and so the content is not going to be flowed onto each other, and we will give it the clear both property. So that's why I have created this div. And now after it we have to create the subheader. Here is the subheader, and its width is full width, and image is repeated. Here you can see that, and it is enclosed inside a container. And first of all here is create a div, subheader, and then here is the closing tag of the div, and here is div and class, and here is the container, and here is this. So now all things are okay. First of all, inside this container we will create a heading and then this text. Here is this, copy it, and here it is. Here is the h1, and here is the paragraph. Here is the paragraph. So this is the code of the subheader. Here is this, and now we have to insert the background image by using the subheader class. Here I'm gonna reload it. So here is just text, and let's give it the style. First of all I'm gonna give this clear fix property values, and here I'm gonna write the clear fix also, this, and here is clear fix. And it's okay. And now let's give the background image. Here is the subheader, class subheader. Here is the background URL, and here is images. Dot dot, here is the background for dot jpg, and here is, we have to give it the minimum height is 50 pixel, 150 pixel, and here is height 150 pixel. And now let's render it. So the background is inserted, so we have to give it the padding inside the background, so a space is created around the text, and then give the color to the text. And now here it is, the padding 35 pixel, and then the 10 pixel for the left and right, and 0 pixel for the bottom. And now here is the color is become white, and then here is the text shadow 0, and here is the 1 pixel for the y-axis 0, and here is black, so a black type shadow is apply on this div. Here it is just a little shadow on the top side, and here is the shadow is also apply on here on the text. Here you can see that the text is just like a black, so the shadow is apply. And then after this I'm gonna create a margin on the bottom side, so a distance is created between the subheader and the content that we will place below it. And here is the color of the text is white, and here you see that the text, the color of this text that have the shadow is not white, so I'm gonna apply the white color on it separately. Here is subheader, here is P, and here is color is become white. Here it is, and now here is it's become white. And now the next thing is we have to give the font size to this text, and then we have to provide the margin on the bottom side of this heading. Here is copy it and then paste it. Here is the font size 35 pixel, and then here is the margin on the bottom side 10 pixel, and here it is. And now here it is okay. And now we have to create this part, and let's create it. Here is after the closing tag of this header, here is the header closing tag. We have to create another div, and here is div class. Here is the container, and here is div, and then here is the div. Give it the class row. Here is row. Here is the div, and then after it we have to create a div who have the 65% width, 66% width, and the 33% width is given to this area. So now here is the div, here is adjust for, and here is the div, and then here is the wrap core, and then here is. So now here in this div we have to put all of the three posts. Here is the first, second, and this third. So all of these posts are placed inside this div, and now I'm gonna make the first post. So first post is in an article. Every post is placed inside an article. So here I'm gonna create an article. You can put the section or the div or anything you want, and I am just using this article. And then here is the article. First of all, we have to create the header of the post. The header contain this name and this date, and here is copy this, and then here is paste it here, and here is the name of the post, and this thing is in the header. Here is class. Here I'm gonna give art header, and here is this is a div, and here it is. So now this is the header, and then here is this name is inside anchor tag, and here is the anchor tag. When we take the mouse over this name, so it contain a link, we can click on it and we can go to another page. And then here is the H3 heading to give it specific font size, font styles. Here is H3, and then this text is inside a div. Here is a div, and then here is the closing tag of the div. Here is the div, and here is this anchor tag inside this event. Text is inside the anchor tag, and here is hyper reference. So now this is the header of the post. It includes this name and the text, and now let's check it. And here it is created, and when we take the mouse over it, so it is underlined, it have the yellow color. But now we will edit this color, we will give it the different styles by using this art header class. Here is the art header, and now after this we have to put the content of the post. Here is the content, the image and the text, and for this we have to create a separate div. Here is separate div, and here is a div, and here is its closing tag. Here is this, and first of all, before this paragraph we have to place the image. Here is this, here is hyperreference, here is this, and then here is the image. Images 6.jpg, and now it is okay. There is a paragraph, link, and the header, and all the things are inserted. and now here it is. Now we will align this image, we will give the style to this image, then it will be okay. And now first of all I'm gonna use this art header to give the style to the title of the post and the date on which it is created. Here is save it, and now here it is, art header. Here is art header, and here we have to write h3. We will give it the style to the h3. Here is the font size 25 pixel, and here is the color is become gray type, just like black, it is dark gray black color. And here is the margin on the bottom side of the heading is 10 pixel, and now it is okay. And here you can see that this is created, its style is applied. And now when we take the mouse over this anchor tag, so here it is, here I'm gonna write article. The style will be applied on the art header that is in the article, and here is copy this, and now here is hover, text decoration, none, here is none, and here it is. So now here you can see that it is adjusted. And the next thing is we have to create this adjust for. Here I'm gonna copy this, leave it, and adjust for is taking 66% width, 66.66%. You can exactly give the 66% width. Here is 4, here I'm gonna remove it 0.66, or write it, because we have give the 33.33% to the others. And here is adjust for. And the next thing, here I'm gonna reload it. So now it is created, and the next thing that I want to tell you, we have to give the style to this article. By using this article, we have to give it the margin on the bottom side of the post. Here you can see that there is a margin on the bottom side of the post, and the padding inside this border, and then we will apply this border. And here is the style to the article, and we will give this style in the next lecture. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous video we have reached at this spot. We have created this post, and now we have to give the style to this article that contain a single post. Here you can see that this is inside the article, and now I'm gonna give the style to the article to insert the bottom and the margin and the padding. Here you can see that there is a border, and here is the margin and the padding. So let's give the style to the article. Write article, and here is display is inline block, and here is the border on the bottom side. HDDD, and then here is the padding on the bottom side 30 pixel, and here is the margin on the bottom side is 30 pixel. And now here is it, the margin on the bottom side, padding is inside. So now the next thing is we have to give the style to this image. We have to float it to the left, so the text is automatically float to the left. Text is wrapped around it. Here is we have to write article, the image that is in the article image, and here is first of all display it as inline block, and then here is a floor to the left, so the text is also floor to the left. This is my CCleaner, and here is the margin right, so a distance is created between the image and the text. Here it is. This is the margin right, that space between the text, and after this we have to give the border around the image. Here is 1 pixel solid, just light gray border. It is not visible, but it is existing literally. Here is this. So now like this we have to create the second post, then third, and then fourth. Now for creating the other post we have to copy the code and then paste it. Here is this, and here is a motorbike, and then copy from the article. Here is we have to copy complete articles. Here is this, and then here is, and copy it, and then after it paste it second, and here is the third one. And now we have to change the name of the image. Here is 6, and here is the 7, here is the 8, and now let's execute it. So here it is inserted, here is the image, and now here I'm gonna insert this image. Let's check it, and the image name is wrong. Here I'm gonna write 5, and now it is okay, and here is it is inserted. So now what you need to do, you just need to change this text. You can change it easily, so I'm not gonna change it. And the next thing that I'm gonna create it, here is this. We have to create this sidebars, and first of all we will create a div just one, and it have the width 33%. So all of these items in the sidebar is placed inside that div. Here I want to tell you something, that is the widget. So first of all, what is the widget? The widget is just like a small application, or it is a small program, and we can include it in any website, in any software. So here for example, when you are browsing on the search engine, when you are browsing on the internet, you have opened many websites, and many websites have the weather conditions. They are telling us whether today is rainy day, tomorrow is sunny day. So that is the weather conditions, and that program is a simple program and a small program to tell the weather conditions, and that is called the widget. And because that is the small program, and we can include that program in any website, in any software, and that is the widget. And here this is the sidebar, and this meta is a widget because we can include this meta in any page in the sidebar, and this is also the widget. This is a widget, this is a widget. So the widget is just a concept. You can make anything a widget that we can use in more than one place. So it is just a concept, and let's start. So I'm call it widget. This we will build this widget. First of all, here is motorbike, and here is after the closing tag of this 66% width. Here is this, and now I'm gonna check it. Here is, and now here is, after this here we have to create another div, and here is its class. Here is adjust one, and here is its closing tag of the div, and here it is. And then after this here is class, and here is wrap call, and here is the wrap sidebar. And now why and in this div we will place all of these sidebar here, meta, last state, and these all of these things are in this list. But here why we give this sidebar class, here I'm only gonna write it sidebar. Why we have give this class? Because we have to create a some distance on the top side of the sidebar and also on the down side, so that's why we have give it. We will give it the margin to the sidebar. And here is, now I'm gonna give the first div of this first widget. Here is the div and give it the class widget, and by using this widget we will give the padding and the margin on the top and the bottom side of this meta. Here you can see that the padding. And here after this, in this widget we have to create, here is, this is the closing tag of this sidebar, and here is the adjust one, and where is this? I think one closing tag is missing. Here is, this is the adjust one, this is the wrap call, this is the widget. And now in this, first of all what we need to do, we have to create this header. So this header, this meta heading is inside a div, and we have to give it the class header. Here I'm gonna give it, here is the div, and here I'm gonna give the class, and here is the class name is widget header. Here is the widget header because it will contain the heading, and here is its closing tag, and this all tags are completed. And now here I'm gonna place it here, and here give the h4 heading. Here is h4, and here we have to write meta. Here is the meta, and here I'm gonna give the class to give it the different color. Here is the color orange, because we have to give it the orange color, so here I have write color orange. And then after this header we have to create this thing, that is the list items. So for this we have to make another div. Here is the div, here is the class widget content, and then here is the UL, and here is the list item, and here is the anchor tag, and then here is the log in, and here it is. Here is the hyperreference hash, and now here I'm going to give the class to this link UL. Here is the, and now here is a div, and this div contain this list items. Here I'm going to increase it, so now you can change the text. And we have already defined the style for this link class, that these styles are given to the UL. Here is, it is defined already, and here we have to define our styles for this sidebar. So now first of all reload it, here it is. So now let's give the style first of all to the sidebar. Here it is. Here is dot. I have not used the aside element. It depends upon you what you want to use. You can use the div or the aside element or the section or any element, but I have used the div. And here is first of all create a margin. Here is the 0 pixel. and this margin is on the left and right side. Top and the bottom side is 0. Here is, save it. So now this margin is given on this side, left and right side, and then here is the widget, and here I'm gonna give the padding on the all the side of this widget. Here is widget. First of all, create the margin on the bottom side of the widget, because we have to place another widget on the bottom side, so that's why create a distance, and here is the padding. 5 pixel from the top, 25 pixel from the left and right, 10 pixel from the right side. When we have give the margin to the whole sidebar, so it is not blind because it is so less 10 pixel. So now the padding is work, and here you can see that. Now we have to insert a space before and after this widget, so the content is not going to be mixed up, because we have to create so many other widgets. Here you can see that, so it's maybe mixed into each other. And here is, we also need to write the article here, the article element, because we have give too many article, we have used the article element in the post, so the content might be mixed up. So here first of all write the widget. Here is also widget, and then here is this, and here we have to write article. Here is the article, and now here I'm gonna reload it. Now we have to give the style to this heading, that is the meta heading. We have to change its color, and then we have to create a margin on its bottom side. So how to this margin create is, I'm gonna tell you about it. First of all, dot color orange. Here I'm gonna give the orange color to the heading. Here is color orange, this class is given to it, and here is the color. Here is hash ff 970b. I have picked this color code from the internet. You can search the more codes, and here is, it is important because we have already give the color to the headings. And here is the font size is 27 pixel, and then here is the font weight is bold, and then here is the margin on the bottom side is 20 pixel. So now let's execute it. So here it is, the style is given to this heading, and now we have to give the margin padding on the top side of this text. This is a content area, item content. And now here I'm gonna change this text, and then I will produce the padding on the above side of this content by using its class. Here is the widget content, here it is, and now here is widget content, paste it here, here it is, and then this. And now here is the padding on the top and the bottom side of the content. Here is 10 pixel and 0, and now here it is, the distance is created. Now I'm gonna change this text, and here this class, the widget header is we don't need it right now, so I'm gonna remove it. we have give the style to the H4 heading, so that's why I have removed it. And now here you can change this text, but here I'm gonna change it. Here is the enterprises is cut it, copy it, and then here is I'm gonna paste it here, and here is copy this one, and then here is this, and then here I'm gonna remove the last one so it will look better. Here you can see that I have just changed this text to look it better. And then I'm gonna create this widget, and now let's create another widget. Here it is, this is the widget, here it is starting. And now first of all copy this thing and paste it here inside the adjust one div, and here is its closing tag of the widget, and here it is, and here we have to change it to the lasted, and then here after this, here we have to create the content. Here is I'm gonna copy this and then edit it and then paste it text inside it. Here is this, here is this, and here remove this and then paste a content inside it, a paragraph. Here is the P, and here is the text, and we have to copy the text, and here is this thing is created. And now in the next video I'm gonna create the rest of the things, this thing and this select button and then these links. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have reached at this line and we have created this lasted widget and this meta widget, and now we are gonna create this thing. And here you see that this heading have the low font size than these headings, lasted and archives. So now here I'm gonna create it, here it is, and now here we have to copy this one, and here it is, copy this, and here is paste it here, and here we have to write recent post, and then here is the UL, and now we have to just change the text. Here I'm gonna remove these ones and copy this text. Here it is, increase it and then save it. So now this widget is created. Here is remove this thing, and now let's check it. Here it is created, and now the next thing is this select button. So now what we need to do, we just need to write a select open and closing tag and then give the options and their values. So now let's start. Here is after the closing tag of the widget. Here I'm gonna place it, this thing, and here is copy this thing. We need this code. and here is this and this, so all the things are present. And here is archive, here archives, and then after this, here in between this, we have to place select, and here is the select, and here we have to place option, and here is option, and here we have to place first value in the option is select month. Here you see that this is a value, but it have not any value when we select it, so it will not give any value, and it is selected at the first, then we will give this February, March and all the things. And here is first thing is select month, and you can write this thing at any place, but you have to provide the selected attributes. So now it is selected, and here is I'm gonna increase it, and here write March 2016, and here is December, here is 2017, and here is February, here is February 2019, and here we have to give the value, what is the value of this. Here is a Feb, and here I'm gonna give, when we select this value, so its value is like this deck, and here is March, here is March, and this the first value have not any value. And now let's check it. Here it is created, but we have to give it the styles, so that's why we have to give another class to its widget. Here is widget archive, here is archive, and here I'm gonna copy it and then paste it here. Here is dot before it, and here is this. And one thing that I have left here is this heading have the less font size, and here you see that, so we have to give it the H5 heading. Here I'm gonna check it. Here is the H5, and now let's check it. Here it is, so now it have the less font size, and if you want to give more less font size, then you have to give it class and you can edit its font size, but now it is fine. And here is, let's give the style to this select, and here we have to write select, and here is first of all the margin on the top and the bottom side is 5 pixel, and then left and right side 0, and here is the height is 40 pixel, and here is the width is 100%, and then here is the padding is 10 pixel, and padding on the left side of the select. Here you see, I'm going to show you the effect. Here is the padding on the left side, and the margin on the top side and the bottom side, its width is become 100%, means it cover all the 33% total width. And here are the values, and then here is the font family. Font family is, you can give it any font family. Here I'm gonna give serif. So now this is not look good, this font is not look good. The default font family is good, Arial, this font is Arial, and this color is fine. This color is, I don't like this color, gray type. I'm gonna apply a white background color. Here you can see that, and then here I'm gonna give it font size. Font size is 16 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give the color to the text is gray type. Here 777, and here is the border is become none. And now let's execute it. So here is the border is no more present, and this is the outline when we click on it, and here I'm gonna apply the border, then it look good. So here it is, and you can also give it this background color. This is E9 background color, gray type, but I like this white background color, so that's why I have not give that color. And now we have to create this next widget. It contains the simple links, so now let's create it. Here is this. These are the simple anchor tags. These are not in the list items or in the UL. What we need to do, we just need to create the anchor tags separated by commas in the div, and here I'm gonna copy it, and here is this, paste it, and here we have to write, we have to remove this archive, the widget archive, and here is the tags, and here is remove this, and here is the anchor tag, and here is the hyperreference, here is hash, and here is animals, and you can increase it and you can change this text, but I'm not gonna change it. Here is this. So now you can change this text, and now in the next video here we have to remove this map from the footer, because in this page there is no map. So here is in the footer, remove this div. Here is the div of the map. Let's remove it, and now here it is. Now the page is prepared. In the next video I'm gonna create this about.html page. We will create this paragraph, image, and this list. This is order list. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. See you in the next lecture. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this motorbike page, and we have inserted these posts, and then we have built this thing and all the things. And now in this lecture we are going to build this about.html page. So let's create it, then save it, about.html, and here I'm going to copy the same code. Here is this, and we need this container and the row div, then this subheader and this section, and here is this, and here we have to place the closing tags of this container and div row, and then this section and div. And here is this, copy this footer, and here is the closing tags of the section clear fix, container, and the row. Here is, place it here, and now here is this, and here is this. In between this container, in this div, we will place this, all of this article and the image. And now here is the section, and here we have to remove this text, and we just need to place the blog here. We have to write only the heading blog. And now let's reload it. Here is reload it, and here is the about.html, and here is the header image, and Now we are gonna make this part, and it contains this text. These are the different paragraphs. So now here, remove this distance, this, and now here I'm gonna start from this part, and here in the row what we need to do, we have to create a div wrap call. Here is div wrap call. Here is the wrap and call, and then here is the div. And after this we have to place a article. All of this text and the images in the article. Here is the article, and then here is, and in between this, first of all what we need to do, we have to place the title of, here is the title of this, the title on the article. Here you are able to write any title, but I'm gonna write this. So this is in the div. Here is div, and here is its closing tag, and here is this. Here is h1, here is this, this is the entry title, the class given to it. And then after this, here we have to place a separate div that contain this image and all of this text, and here is that div. Give it the class. Here is the class. Here I'm gonna give it art content, and then here is its closing tag. And first of all, here I'm gonna insert the image. Here is img src, here is equal, and images /1.jpg, and here is, I'm gonna reload this page. So here is the image and its title, and we will remove this border and all the things. After this we have to create a div for the first paragraph. In this div we will paste the first paragraph. Here it is, and now here we have to copy the first paragraph. Here is in this div we have to create the paragraph opening and closing tag in the div, and here is this. And after this we have to paste the second paragraph, and now here is the paragraph, and here is the paragraph, and now here we have to paste the third one paragraph. Here is the third one. This is the block quote, so I'm gonna paste this paragraph in the block quote. Here is the block quote. Here is the paragraph, and then after this, here we have to paste this paragraph. And now after this we have to place another paragraph. Here it is, and now here is this one, and here I'm gonna show you. Here is the paragraph, and now let's insert this paragraph, and here it is. The space is created in between the paragraphs due to the default margin and padding of the paragraph, and then here we have to place this line. This line is represented as the code. We have to place this text of piece of line in the tags of code. Here is the code. So if we want to write any code in the web page to show the users, so we have to write the code in these code tags. So in this way the code is displayed uniquely, anybody can see it. Here its display is unique, and here is this one paragraph, and here it is. Here is this. Let's reload it. And now after this we have to place this ordered list, and for the order list we have to make the div here. Here is the div, and here is we have to place the OL. Here is the OL. Here is the OL, and here we have to place the text in the simple list item. It cannot contain any link, and here I'm gonna paste that text, and here is I'm gonna add an indent. Here it is. Here is this, and now after this we have to place two paragraphs after this div, and now I'm gonna copy these paragraphs. Here is, first of all, reload it. Here it is, and here are the paragraphs. Here is the paragraph tag, and here is its closing tag, and here is place it here. And here is, after this we have to place the last one paragraph. Here is this, copy it, and here is the paragraph, and then paste it here, and here it is. And now let's refresh it, and now we have to give the style to this paragraphs. So let's start. First of all, here is the content, and first of all we will give the style to this entry title, and then the rest of the things. First of all, here is the article, and here is the entry title. You can simply write directly the class name, and here is, first of all, I'm going to create margin on the top and the bottom side of the entry title, and here is the left and right side. So now it will create a space on the top and the bottom side of the entry title. It is moved, and here I'm going to check the class name, entry title, and then now I'm going to give the style to the h1 heading that is in the entry title. Here is h1, and here I'm going to give the line height 1.2, and here is the font size 38 pixel, and now here it is executed here. So now its font is already maybe 38 pixels, so that's why it is not applied. And now I'm going to give the style to this block code text. This is the block code text, and now you can see that it have not the font size, special font size, and the color. So now I'm going to apply. Here is dot art content, and art content have the block code. Here is the block code, and here we have to apply a font size on it. Here is the font size is 18 pixel, and then here is the margin on the block code on the left and right side. Here is the 50 pixel, and then here is the font style is become italic, and here is the color is, here is 666, and then here is the padding on the left side, 20 pixel. Here it is, here it is. And now I'm gonna give the style to this OL that is present here, and here is the OL, means order list. And here is, first of all, place this alt content. Here it is OL, and here is this, and here is float it to the left side, and here is a float to the left. And then here I'm gonna give the text align to the center, text align to the justify is better, or center is also better, but justify is better. Here's justify. You have already know what is the function of justify. Justify complete the line. Here you can see that this text is placed at this side, but I will provide a clear div, so it will be okay. Here is the margin is become 10 pixel from the top and the bottom, and 50 pixel from the left and right. And then here is the font size is 16 pixel, and here is the list style type circle, and here it is. So now for this condition we have to provide a div under this order list. Here is the order list, and here is, we have to provide a div and give it the class clear. So this div have the property clear both, so it will not allow any element to be float on right or any side. And here I'm gonna write the clear here. Here is dot clear, and here is the clear, and here it is. So now it is okay, the about.html page is ready. And now in the next lecture we are going to build this contact page. It have the subheader, and then we will insert this map. Here you can see that this is the map, and then we will insert this contact form, and then here is, it have the awesome effect, and then this text, and then this, all of this information. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this about.html page, and now in this lecture we are gonna make this contact.html page. It have this subheader, this iframe, it have the width equal to the container, and then here is a separate section for the contact form. It occupies 66% width. This section occupies 33%. So, and now here we have to create a new page and drag it to here, and here is save it. And now here is contact.html, and now here I'm gonna paste the same code, copy from this header, and we also need this clear fix and subheader, and then we need this container and row. So copy up to here and paste it here. And now we need the closing tags and the footer, and from the end there are the closing tags of the body main, and here is the footer, and this is the closing tag of the section div. We need 4 closing tags. Here is this. So now all the things are fine. This section, here is this section, and this is the div clear fix, and this is the subheader container div, and here is the heading, and in this container we will place this map and the contact form and this contact info, and this is the subheader. And now I'm gonna make the subheader. First of all, copy this text paragraph and then paste it here under this. Here paste it without any paragraph, and then here is contact, and now let's execute it. Here it is, contact. So now after this we have to make this contact area. First of all, we will build this map div inside the container directly. Here is the container, and here we have to paste the map, and here I'm gonna copy the code of the map from the first page, and here it is along with its div. Here is, and here is, and here we have to give it more height for 50 pixel. And now let's execute it, and now it's loading, and here is the map is inserted, and here you can see that it's working. And now after this we have to create a div who have the 66% width, and in which we will put these input fields. And here is after the closing tag of this div inside the container, we have to make another div for the form. Give it the class adjust for, because it have the 66% width, and here is the closing tag of the div, and here is the wrap call, div class wrap call, and here is this. And first of all, here I'm gonna place the h5 form, and here is contact form, and here I'm gonna give it the orange color by giving it the class color orange. And now let's execute it. Heading is created. Here it is. And now we are gonna make this part, and for this here we have to place the form. Here is the form, and now here is its closing tag of the form. And now here I'm gonna give ID ff, means form, and here is place the label, opening and the closing tag, and then in between this we have to place input. Here is the type, here is the text, and then here is I'm gonna place the placeholder, enter name. Here is make it capital, and here is another field for the email. Here is enter email, and then after this we have to make another third one, that is for the text area. Here we have to change it in this field. We will put the simple message. Here is the text area, placeholder have message, and here is the closing tag of the text area. Here it is, and here I'm gonna give the rows are equal to 4, and here is goals 25 columns. And now after this, first of all, let's check it out. We have to create this button, and now it have not style, so that's why it look like this. And now create a button, and that button is in the center. Here you can see that. so we have to give it the center tag, so then it will automatically in the center. And here we have to place, here is input type, here is submit, and here is the value of the button is the text that is appear in the button is submit. And here I'm going to give it the class btn to give it the styles btn. And now here it is the button, and let's go and give it the style, then it will be okay by using this ff form. And here it is. First of all, give the style to the label. Here is the label, and then here is the, first of all, display as the label as a block, and then here is the font weight is bold, so all the text we will put is become bold in the fields. And here is the margin bottom is 5 pixels, so a distance is created between every field. Here you see that margin bottom on the bottom side of every field. And then now I'm gonna give the same styles that are the same in the input fields and the text area. Here is hash FFF, here is input text area, here it is. And here we have to give the display block, and here is the width is become 100%, and here is the border radius of the fields 4 pixel, and here is the color is become black, the text color. And here I'm gonna show you what is the border radius. Here you see that the corners are rounded, so this is the border radius. And the next thing is give it border around the fields 1 pixel solid. Here is the hash EF, and then here is the font size 16 pixel. And then here is the background color white, here it is. And now we will give the padding to the input field, so a distance is created inside the input field between the text and the border. Here you can see that. Here is first of all input field input, and here it is padding, and here is 12 pixel, and here is the margin 5 pixel top, 0 pixel left, 10 pixel bottom, 0 pixel right. And here is the maximum height for 45 pixel, the height of the input field. Here it is. And now here is the hash FFF text area. Here is the height 200 pixel, the text area height, and the padding is 10 pixel. And then here is the margin to create a distance from the other fields, 5 pixel top, 0, and 25 pixel bottom, and here is a 0. And now let's check it. So here it is created, and now I'm gonna give the style width to this btn, and here is hash ff dot btn. Maximum width is 25%. Its maximum width is, total width is 66%. That is the width of the adjust one. So that's why it's occupying all the 66%. So now it will occupy the 25%, and it is in the center. And when we take the mouse over it, so its color is become little transparent. So it is the opacity. Here is copy this and paste it here. hover, and here it is, and here is the opacity. It becomes 0.7, and here is, so now here it is, here is our page. So now here is the opacity, and the next thing that I want to tell you is we have to create this part. It have the width 33%. So after the closing tag of the adjust one, here is adjust 4. Here is we have to create another part. Here is div. I'm gonna copy the code from this and then edit it. Here is this, paste it, and then its closing tags. Here is, and here is h5, and here is contact info, and here is the adjust one. And then here I'm gonna place a text inside the span. The first text is inside the span. The first line here is span, and then the second is the paragraph. Copy it like this, and here is this, and here is align this text right here, and also this one, here it is. And now this paragraph, this is a paragraph, and then here is the closing tag of the paragraph, and here is, this is a paragraph, but here is a br to add a new line. So the second line is display on the new line, and here is the paragraph, and here is the br. Here is the paragraph, and here is the paragraph, and here is the paragraph. And now it's okay, and let's check it. So now this page is ready, it is created, and one thing is left, that is here we have missed the closing tag of the center. Here is, this is the closing tag of the center, and now it's going to be work perfectly. It is already working perfectly. And now in the next video I'm gonna develop the fifth website that is related to the music videos and the music concerts. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.